Howdy everybody, this is King Bob coming at you from King Bob's Kingdom. And today I'm going to show you how I fly a particular approach. That approach is the Park Visual Runway 31 into LaGuardia. Love this approach. But basically, I pulled up the chart for it. I'm going to be flying via these waypoints directly to runway 31. So it's basically going to be at you're going to be at 3,000 at Pacu, descending down to about 2,500 at Shea, Kakar, Darrell, Keith, and then lining yourself up with runway 31 in LaGuardia. What I like to do is right around Shea. I like to start descending about 1,000 feet a minute or so, roughly. You want to be trying to aim for about, I don't know, about 400 feet above the runway, right after Keith. Set yourself up nicely for a decent landing. There are visual reference points that you should be using on here to set yourself up. One are these twin white tanks. The Long Island Expressway will be another. Meadow Lake will be another. The stadium's out in the distance here where they play tennis at. I think it's Flushing Meadows. It's either Arthur Ashe or Billie Jean Kingdom is the name of one stadium. And of course, a City Field where the New York Mets play. Second-class citizens to the New York Yankees, just saying. But as you can see, some of these waypoints, Shea, Darrell, Keith, they seem like they're, you know, references to the New York Mets. Shea, obviously, Old Shea Stadium. Darrell, maybe for Darrell Strawberry. Keith for Keith Hernandez, possibly. But let's give this one a go. Using FSIPanel today. If you're not using it, you should be, because who doesn't need more practice with their landings? I know I do, but it's a great little utility. I created a waypoint so you could practice this approach if you want. I'll share it out in the description below. So let's take a look outside, and today we're going to be flying it in the Fenix A320 or A319 actually. November 68 Kilo Bravo Kilo in the gorgeous King Bob's Kingdom livery. New York City in the distance there. LaGuardia's out here. Two white towers I was talking about. Meadow Lake out there. Long Island Expressway. We will also be using the Van Wyck as another reference point too. So let's get a flying. Go back into the plane. We're set for flaps 2. I usually like to be down in flaps 2 configuration at my 10-mile range ring. 5-mile, I like to get my gear down and be configured for landing. So I hold the brakes for 3 seconds. This is what flight or FSIPanel wants me to do. Now I'm in control. And once we get to Pacu here, or Pacu, I'm going to take over. My plane. I'm going to start descending down to about 2,500 feet to Shea, which is out in the distance here. Don't need to hear that. Once we get to Shea, we're going to start a nice right-hand turn heading toward Darrell and the Meadow Lake out in the distance. So we're also going to be using, like I said, the visual reference point. So the two white towers is another good reference. It's a good reference point to start that turn, which we're going to do now. Basically, rolling out to 060 or 060 or somewhere in that neck of the woods. Like so. And you can see the Long Island Expressway and Meadow Lake out in the distance. Start turning toward the Darrell waypoint. Aiming for Meadow Lake here. Start my descent. Maybe about 1,000 feet a minute. Lower my landing gear since we're in that 5-mile range ring. Arm my spoilers. Parallel the Long Island Expressway out here. Flaps can come to 3. You want to lower our speed down to 125 or so. And flaps can go full. Now we're going to be making a left-hand turn toward Keith.
1,000.
And the Van Wyck Expressway. Watching our descent. City Field. Flushing Meadows. The Unisphere. Little low. I like to use these buildings as a reference point. This one right here, and we're going to have one out in the distance here. Set myself up on the runway.
500.
Runway 31 in the distance. Like we're good on our vertical path here. A little high.
400.
Start aiming for the runway.
300.
Like so. Looking good so far.
200. 100. 50. 40.
That looks good.
30, 20. Retard.
And set it down on center line.
5.
Like so. Reversers are coming out. Load a plane down. Maintain center line all the time. Reverser stowed. Flaps can come up. Spoilers can be disarmed. We will come to a stop on the runway. And that is how I fly the Park Visual Runway 31 approach into LaGuardia. You should try it. It's a fun approach. The kind of challenging. You know, you got to be able to control your Airbus, but I'm sure you can all do it. Give it a go. This is King Bob. See ya.